to the rabbitry. This is Marcy. And I just wanted to, if I can get my throat to cooperate, I just wanted to do a little follow-up to a video that I did some time back. I think the title of it was How to Decide Which Buck Rabbit to Breed with Which Doe Rabbit or something like that. Anyway, a few of you watched it and seemed to enjoy it and appreciate, you know, the insight that it kind of gave. And one thing that I didn't make, that I may not have made perfectly clear in that video, and you know, I talked about how, you know, you could take a rabbit with a nice hindquarter and a rabbit with a not so nice hindquarter, breed them together, and you could have rabbits, all the, you know, babies with better hindquarters, and the same thing with shoulders. And I think I used Marcy and Romeo as an example for that video. And one thing that I may not have made clear was, when doing that, it doesn't mean every one of those babies in that resulting litter are going to be nice. Okay? Some of them, remember we talked about how Romeo had good shoulders, Marcy has not so good shoulders. Marcy has a nice hindquarter, Romeo has basically no hindquarter, or little hindquarter, okay? I think he has a flat butt, is what we said. Anyway, the thing is, when you're breeding a buck and a doe together, trying to get them to complement each other, okay? Something I didn't make clear. It doesn't mean they're all going to be nice automatically, okay? You're still going to have to go through them, and you're going to have to cull, and you're going to have to cull hard. And a big part of that is knowing what you're looking for, okay? And now on Marcy, a lot of you have maybe not still quite clear, okay? Reds are supposed to have a nice, compact, short, you know, short-bodied if you like. Marcy is a beautiful rabbit, but she's a bit long in the top line, right here in the shoulders, okay? She's a bit, which makes her overall long in body, okay? And where that comes from is this top line. When you lay your hand here, you're going to feel a low place right here above the shoulders, and then you're going to feel a catch. Feel this catch right in here, okay? This is basically where her actual top line begins, and it goes, and it's supposed to come up, and it's supposed to peak basically right above the toes when you've got her posed right above the toes, and then she's supposed to come down and arch, round down into a nice rounded hindquarter here, okay? So you want her, so her peak is pretty good, but this start is too late, okay? Ideally, you want this right here at the base of the ears, and you want this, see this low shoulder? You want that to be filled out to the point that it's this deep, okay? So not only is she a bit long in shoulder, which is also called having a late start to her top line, this is also weak shoulders, okay? She's got low shoulders, see where this is sunk down? And this, see this catch? See this catch right here where her top line starts? This right here, ideally you don't want that there. You want this start to this top line, start to the arch of her top line here. You want it to be right here, and you want it to be high. You want it to be right at the base of the ears, not down here, okay? You want it right here, all right? And okay, we're not saying that Marcy is a bad rabbit. We love Marcy. She's beautiful. She's got a little issue there, okay? But I'm going to show you, you can still work with an animal like this, okay? I see on Facebook groups all the time, okay? And some of these people are downright rude, okay? And somebody will show a picture of their mini Rex or their New Zealand or anything, asking for opinions. What people say is automatically they say, cull the rabbit, it's no good. Hello, that's not what they asked. They asked for your opinion of the rabbit. Do you know what's wrong with the rabbit, or do you just know how to say cull it? Okay, because in my opinion, cull is number one. Just to tell somebody to cull their rabbit, to me that's rude. And not only that, but not saying that it isn't true, sometimes a rabbit needs to be culled, but if somebody asks for an opinion of the rabbit, they want you to look at what you can see of that rabbit, and they want you to tell them what you think. They're not asking you if you should cull it or not, if they should cull the rabbit or not. They're asking you what you think of the rabbit. And I just see it all the time, and it upsets me because it boils down to this. There's a lot of breeders out there that are afraid that if they help you to learn how to show rabbits properly and to learn what you're looking for in your breed, that you're going to start breeding better rabbits. You're going to be too competitive for them, and they're going to stop losing or stop winning. Now, isn't that ridiculous? And that's what I chalk that up to. Okay, it's just basically they're afraid of, you know, they think they've got their little secrets that nobody else knows about, and they think if they let them out, then, you know, somebody else might breed a better rabbit than they do. Well, you know what I know? If somebody breeds a better rabbit than me, that's going to make me want to breed a better rabbit next generation and next generation. Without competition, the breed doesn't improve. Okay, it just doesn't. It stays the same. Okay. If you're facing somebody that's constantly producing better rabbits, then you're going to produce better rabbits, or you're going to give up and quit because you're going to start falling behind. Anyway, that's just a little side note here. But now, this right here, this shoulder here, is my biggest issue with Marcy. Other than that, she's a pretty girl. She's a little bit light in color, but you know what? Color, it's been, I mean, you know, I haven't been to just a ton of shows, but most of the time, there's other issues that are going to determine a winner or not a winner before the judge even gets to the point of evaluating their color. Okay, but this shoulder here on Marcy, that's our flaw. We'll call it a flaw or a fault. Okay, she's got a pretty nice hind quarter. Okay, not perfect. She's a little bit flat right up here right now, but I'm thinking that could be because she's still a little bit underweight. Okay, we're getting her fattened back up. All right, so I'm gonna put Marcy back. All right, and I'm gonna grab Romeo real quick. Here's Romeo. Come here, buddy. You know how we do this. Yeah, see here. Now, on Romeo. Come on, get your feet right. Okay, now see Romeo's shoulder? Okay, not great, but he's got a lot deeper shoulder. Okay, see here? See, he starts here at the base of the ears, and he's got a nice, it's a bit straight here, it's a bit flat, but it's still better than, but I'm going to show you. Okay, you come up here and you see this peak. In my opinion, this peak is way too far forward. I would like to see this peak right here, and then I would like to see some butt out here. But now, if you look, see right here? Okay, we're still making a joke. See this peak, but see how this seems to fall straight down? That's flat. Okay? That's Romeo's flaw. That's his fault. Okay? That's where he's lacking. Okay? Remember how we just showed Sally. Remember how her hind quarter kind of.
Me, Marcy.
What did I say?
Sally.
Oh, anyway, they knew what I meant. We just had Marcy here, and her hind quarter come out here nice and rounded nicely down towards the tail. Okay. Romeo ideally should come out here and peak, and then actually have more depth right here over his hind quarter and round down. Okay. And that's his fault or his flaw. Okay. A lot of those people that I was just talking about earlier would tell me to cull this rabbit. They're nuts. Okay? And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to put Romeo back. And remember sometime back, oh, by the way, do y'all see how nicely his fur looks now? Remember, it wasn't that long ago we did a video showing how we was grooming him and getting a lot of that old molted fur off? Well, he's all pretty much done. Let's see how his tail looks. Raise up, buddy. Yeah, even his tail looks nice. Got a little bit right here that might blow out yet. See how it looks discolored right in there? I don't know if you can see. See right in there? Might blow out a little bit right there yet, but his fur has grown in, and he is looking nice. And this is what you're looking for. Late summer, end of summer, by the end of summer, you want this to all be done. Okay? because usually around September, beginning of September, if you're going to show rabbits, that's usually when your rabbit shows start. So you want, anyway, about around the 1st of September, that's when your rabbit shows start. So ideally, you want your rabbit to have blown that fur out and have that nice new coat blown in before your rabbit show season starts, because you do not want to be trying to take a rabbit to the rabbit show and be fighting molting fur like that, okay? Because it's just not gonna. You're just, you know, you're just shooting yourself in the foot, more or less. But I'll be right back, and when I come back, I'm going to show you what can result from 2 rabbits with obvious flaws or faults when you pair them together and they complement each other properly, okay? So, ta-da! This, told you some time back, you know, Marcy had a litter of 4 that she actually raised. And these are Romeo and Marcy, babies right here. Remember I told you 2 of them got out and got killed. And I also said, you know, naturally, the 2 that got out and got killed were the does, which the does are usually more desirable. You know, well, you know, most people need 2 or 3 times as many does as they do bucks. Is the thing. So, but here's what we got. This little guy right here. Got eye crusties. Okay. Yes, sir. Anyway, let's get this guy set up here a little bit. Now, his feet here. Make sure we got his feet right. Now, I want you to look at this little guy. Okay? Do you see these shoulders? Huh? You see where this top line starts? Okay? Comes up and it's peaking right above them toes, right? See that peak right there, right above the toes? Okay, and then he's nice and round. Look at this hind quarter. See here how it rounds down nicely down to the base of the tail. Okay, and when you turn him around this way, when you look at him, that tail out there, you see how he sits down pretty good on the table. He's a bit hollow there, right there at his feet, but we can live with that. He's still growing anyway. But okay, back up. It'll be your turn in a minute. Okay. Now, see how he holds those feet nice and straight? Okay. See, he's nice and round here. He's not. Well, we don't have him tucked. Here, tuck your feet. Tuck your feet a little bit for me, buddy. And your feet. Yeah. No, it's your. Just wait. Just wait your turn. Get him up here. I'm trying to get him. Okay. There we go. Anyway, now see how he's not from around here all the way around here. See how he's nice and round. Now when you're looking at him, keep that hair tucked down, because the hair is going to make it look. Okay, flesh condition is what you're looking for. Okay, so keep that fur, keep it kind of knocked down there. Yep, he's okay. Anyway, see how he's nice and round in that hind quarter. Tapers off slightly down as he goes down toward the tail. See that? Now, isn't that beautiful? And he's round from here to here. He's nice and round here. No flat spots. He's not pinched. Okay? He's just a beautiful buck. Okay? And that came from 2 rabbits that some of these so-called experienced national level breeders would have told you to cull. If you ask them, if you get on a Facebook group where all the knowledge is and ask them for an opinion on this rabbit, they probably would have told me to cull Marcy and Romeo, which is why I don't ask. But anyway, I know that there are some people who breed rabbits, New Zealand specifically, and mini Rex, who will give me help and give you help if they are asked. But there's also, and I just go to those people. I don't, you know, very rarely will I post publicly. I try to help people. Now this rabbit, this one's a little different, okay? Still not a bad rabbit, but let me show you. Okay, see here? You see this? Just a little bit. But see where this top line starts? On Marcy, it starts way back here. This is still an improvement, okay? If you needed a rabbit, here, scoot over here, buddy.
Let me hold him.
This little guy right here, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't show him, but he's a tad long in body. I think he's a tad long in the midsection here. Let me show you how you can tell. Okay, when you get him posed up to where he has the nice roundness and arch in his back, where if he looks the way he should up here, see, look where his toes are. This is where they're supposed to be. If you have to overtuck that rabbit like that and push his back feet too far forward to make this look right, he's long in body somewhere. And part of it, he's a little long in the shoulder here, but I think he's a little long in this midsection as well. Okay? Not that somebody couldn't work with him, okay? If you had a nice short compact bodied doe, which in these New Zealands, when they start hitting 11 pounds, these does, none of them really look compact, but you want something short, okay? You don't want them, you know, if we lay Marcy up here, you'll notice that she's way out here, and Romeo, you probably, if you want to rewind real quick, you can look at Romeo, and he is not nearly across this table. He's not nearly this. Of course, a buck is a smaller rabbit, but he's not as long in body, specifically shoulders, as Marcy is. Okay. Now Marcy's throwing some beautiful babies. Okay, she's not going anywhere. Okay, and I'll tell you why. Who can tell me who this is? Look at this guy. This is Ace. Okay? Now, okay, we're talking about shoulders. Easy, buddy. Easy. Now we're talking about shoulders, right? Look at this guy. Okay? He's going to the show. Okay? Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. I'm hoping a little bit of this. Whew. His fur isn't exactly where I'd like it, but New Zealand's are not judged quite as harshly on fur. I think this type will make him competitive. Quit now. Anyway, we got. Pull it back. Put your feet down there flat. No, put your nose down there on the table. See? Okay. This is Ace again, and he is. What's the matter, boy? What's the matter? What's the matter? It's okay. Stay right here. I'm not going to let him hurt you. He's not going to bother you. He looks big, don't he? Actually, you're almost as big as he is and half his age. Anyway, this guy right here, he is going to show. He has bred. It is possible that he could. Don't ask me. I can't remember exactly who. That's why I put that stuff in a computer program, so I don't have to remember. But
I know for sure he.
I'm hoping he's going to be a proven buck before long. You know, hence the daddy. But anyway, see, he is just a nice all-around rabbit. He's filled out. Look at this. Look at this loin. Okay. Look at this loin. Okay, and he's not pinched. See how he's nice and rounded in his hind quarter here? Okay, put that tail up there, buddy. See, no flat places here, back here. Okay, he's filled out. I don't have him posed exactly right, but we're looking at the back end, and this is good enough. See here? He's nice. He's nice and full. See, here's a little spot right here. If you wanted to nitpick on him, okay. He could be a tad better in the shoulders. This is Marcy's son. Okay, Ace is Marcy's son, and he is Bianca and Cheyenne's full brother. Okay, so he could be a tad better in the shoulders, but he is way better than Cheyenne. He's way better than Marcy. So we're taking a step in the right direction. If we need to, we will be looking for some nice, out of whatever litters he throws, we will be looking for some nice shorter shouldered does.
I know he bred with Sally.
Well, Sally's a different story. That's just kind of an experiment. But probably be getting if Sally's pregnant, we will get a litter of probably primarily chestnuts. But this big guy here is he's just gorgeous. He's just gorgeous, and he's young still. He's only like around 5 months old, I think. He's a young buck, 5, maybe 6 months. He was just old enough that I thought he could successfully breed, so I gave him a shot. And it hasn't been long enough yet to palpate Sally, so we'll find that out later. And of course, we'll let you know. Don't know how soon that will come out in a video, but just to let you know, we are putting stuff like that on our Facebook page on a pretty much regular basis. So if you want to look us up on that page and give us a like, or follow, or both, or whatever, you'll know stuff a lot sooner than we get it up within what we get stuff on video. So that way, if you want to be a little more up to date ahead of time or whatever. But anyway, we'll put Ace up. But I just wanted to show you, okay, when you compliment, and this is not the better one of the two, but he is really, really nice. Okay, I'm not unhappy with him at all. Okay, not unhappy with him at all. Okay, look. Okay, keep them feet where they go now. There you go. See? He could use a little more depth, but you know what? He's still growing. A month or two ago, Ace was really, really weak in the shoulder, and he didn't have a lot of depth. He is a lot better now. We don't want to jump the gun too soon. These guys, dang, you remember how old these guys are?
Mm-mm.
They haven't been tattooed. They will be, because I don't think they're going to make minimum weight for the show in September. But they might make minimum weight if we decide to go to the Arkansas State Fair, or there's a couple other shows later on this year. If we decide, they would probably make minimum weight for that. Because these guys are just over, if I remember right, I think they're about 4.5, 5 pounds. And so they need about another pound to be able to compete. But then again, if they're if you show them right at 6 pounds or just a tad over, they're probably going to be the smallest, lightest rabbits in their class, and anything heavier than them is going to beat them. So that's something to think about too. Okay, but having that. Here. But this guy right here, if I keep one of these, I'll probably do this one right here, but they can change. Quit digging them toes in on the carpet. Okay, I don't have him. I think I have his feet just right, but I think if I keep one of the two, it'd be that little guy right there. And see, he wants to try to pose him, and he wants to keep digging them toes in on the carpet. But he is a lot better. Either one of these rabbits, either one of them, are way better than Mama or Daddy. Okay? And when we talk about continuous improvement, this is what we're talking about. This rabbit in particular, this one is really nice, I think, but he could change as he continues to grow. This one, not quite as nice, but he's not something that I would instantly throw in the freezer either. I would let him grow, which is why he's still here. I'm letting him grow out some more, okay? I want to keep a closer eye on him. And it may be that he turns out he doesn't fill out right. But if we don't save them, we don't look at them, we won't know, okay? But he's just a bit long in body, okay? Maybe, and he don't want to sit up straight. He's being a butthole.
They act like they're scared.
Well, they are scared. They don't get handled that much. But as we get closer to the show, to a show where they are going to compete, they will definitely get used to that because we handle them more and more. Closer to the show, closer we get to the show, I start taking anybody that's going. I start getting them out and posing them and what have you, looking them over every single day. Because I've got, what, 3 days, isn't it usually, before a show to put my pre-entries in?
Mm-hmm.
And so I look them over close coming up to that day because I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to put anybody in that's going to result in an immediate disqualification or something. I mean, seriously, that's just a waste of money. Yeah, it's just $3, but you do that two shows a day, and you show, say, 10 rabbits. Okay, that's $30 a show, plus you got 2 shows, so that's $60 in entry fees. You know, it adds up.
And that's not counting your travel fees and
Oh yeah,
everything.
yeah, it costs to get there. The show we're going to, I think it's about 4 hours travel time one way. And so, you know, to be there around 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and allow for any possible delays, we'll probably leave at 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Which means there's going to be people, probably me, that may not get any sleep, you know, that night. But I just wanted to show you guys what these rabbits, how they turn out, what they look like. Okay? And I hope this helps somebody. Just, you know, this kind of helps show you the results, what you can get. Okay, I mean, if you could feel these guys, you would be utterly amazed at the muscle mass on these rabbits. Okay, flesh condition is just, and these are young rabbits, but they're just outstanding. Okay. Now, all right, folks. If you like this sort of thing, y'all remember, hit that like button. Let us know. It helps us out a little bit. Makes our videos rank a little bit better. Maybe leave us a comment. Let us know what you like and what you don't like in videos like this. Maybe you've got something that you've got a question about that we didn't cover in a video recently. And hey, let us know. We can always do something else. Alright?
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, y'all don't forget to subscribe. And when you do subscribe, click that little bell next to your subscribe button. And a little window is going to pop up and tell it that you want to receive all notifications from our channel. That way, anytime we post a new video, I think usually within minutes, right? Isn't that the way it works? At least half an hour, probably. But
apparently YouTube been having a problem again with getting notifications out.
Well, YouTube tries to fix stuff that ain't broke. I think is what their problem is sometimes. But anyway, if they want to fix something and it's not broke, I guess the idea is they've got to break it and then fix it. They can't just go from good to better. They've got to go from good to bad and then make it better, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a programmer. I don't do that kind of thing. I guess I'm just sort of guessing on that. But anyway, we appreciate you watching, and we'll be back in a couple of days. I think we're going to bring you a New Zealand rabbit update. Now, some of these does that we're going to put up here on the table and show to you, I got to let you know, they're not going to look great, okay? They have had babies this summer, and some of them are still recovering in condition and so on and so forth, and their fur and their weight and everything. And Sally's over there, and she's got a messy back end, but, you know, her being a white rabbit, that shows up worse on her than it does any old, and what have you. But we're still going to set them up here, and we're going to let you take a look at most everybody. Maybe not everybody, but we're going to try to get them all. But anyway, we'll be back with you in a couple of days for that, so be watching for it. Y'all have a great day, and God bless.